As we say hello and welcome to the virtual Michigan International Speedway here for week 19 of the iSNF Cup Series Season 11. Here for the Cup Series drivers, here for the Irish Shrills 250. Here once again from the Michigan International Speedway. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race. Here for week 19. We may or may not have Rhea Ferris up here in the booth, depending on if she can make it into the car in time. But it looks like I now see Wyatt Roberts actually in the 21 here in the session. So potentially might have Rhea Ferris up here in the booth here to help call this race tonight here for week 19. But obviously, an introduction here to Michigan International Speedway. A track that needs no introduction, right? A track that's put on phenomenal racing, regardless where we come to here in the Cup Series. You know, we've seen it put on good racings here. Races here in the next gen. You go back to the Gen 6 where, you know, you saw Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick battled out here a couple times here from Michigan, right? You go back to, you know, the COT where we saw so many good battles and further on and furthermore, right? So Michigan, you know, kind of a hybrid track here. It's not, you know, a speedway track, right, where you're going to be going full out, you know, super speedway racing, but it's definitely not a mile and a half, you know, with this 2 mile oval. You can definitely push the car a lot harder. It's very wide, and you'll see that when we get down here on track. It's a very wide track, and it makes it, you know, very unique here coming here because you can go wherever you kind of need to make speed, and you'll see that throughout the race here. Drivers moving around, trying to find grip, kind of like, you know, its old sister track in Fontana, California over there with the Auto Club Speedway. Obviously, Fontana isn't with us anymore, but we do have it still on the sim, so it's really cool to see us continue to go there throughout the seasons and into the future. But I think it's time to go trackside here to show you guys some of your fastest drivers tonight here from Michigan. See, just under 8 minutes left in practice. You look at the 41 here, and Chris Schatzman. You know, he's been moving around from car to car. Took over the 33 ride for a little bit, as you know, the whole sport has tried to transition into, you know, now the 33 being that full-time ride there for the RCR. So Chris will find a new home tonight here in the 41. Obviously, this is usually Bob Wyckoff's car, but obviously we see Chris here in the 41 machine. He's currently, you see up there, P5 at practice. So good practice here for this Haas factory team as they try to figure out the speed here. Obviously, Bob has been a consistent, you know, veteran here in the iSNF Cup Series. Has had some success. I'll give him that, but obviously, I think they're looking for a little bit more speed there in the 41. They're going to put the Chris in there tonight here from Michigan. Looking further on up. Potentially, almost, arguably, should have been last week's winner. They're from the Cola 300. Will Austin, currently P2 on the board. Right behind the 20 of Nicholas Johnson. Obviously, Will came down, took the fresh tires. Late in the race and just could not get back to the 24 of Thomas Flynn, as Thomas Flynn, you know, held on to get his first win of the season last week at Charlotte at his home track. And not only that, at one of the crown jewels here for the Cup Series. Say hello to everybody in every live chat here early. Say hello to the Green Bean, the Leif Opstead, to Not Dean TV, Captain Blueberry. Obviously, those names have been pretty synonymous with the Toad Machine. Cody Meadows, who we're going to look at right now. He's currently P17, so he's a little bit more pace out of this car, at least in practice, right? We expect him to be in the top 5, at the very least in the top 10, right? Seeing him outside the top 15 in practice, not something we're used to seeing here out of these Penske Fords, but obviously this is just practice. I'm not going to really base a lot of the speed off of practice, so. You see timer ticking down, just over 5 minutes. Some notable drivers I'm trying to look for. I'm trying to look for that 24 Thomas Flynn, and someone I do not see on track right now. So that is going to be huge if Thomas can't make it for tonight's race here from Michigan. There he is. He is on track. He's back there, P12, in that bright orange Exalted Flames machine. So, speaking of Thomas Flynn, let's go ahead and take a look at our point standings here coming into Michigan, as this man will be the talking point for tonight's race. Go ahead and take a look at our championship standings coming into Michigan here for Week 19. Thomas Flynn continues to lead the points here with 2369 points, and you see him start to slink these points out further and further. Obviously, Justin Johnson beat him in the stage, but the winner gets significantly more points than P2, P3, and everything. And Justin still came up with a solid finish. I think he got 4th last week. Just Thomas was able to come home victorious last week, and he's going to continue to extend his points gap. So, I mean, these guys really have to buckle in and kind of lock in here if they want to have a chance to get Thomas here. There's not a lot of races left here in the season. Only 25 races here in the season, I believe. And we're on Week 19, so not a lot left here for the Cup Series drivers here in the chase to run down that 24, but we'll see further back. Justin Johnson back there in P2. Chris Otto, that 24's teammate back there in P3, and another Penske Ford back there in 4th with Mark Gonzalez. Cody Meadows, the last of the Penske Fords back there in P5, so Penske, Hendrick, Motorsports, taking the top 5 there. You'll see back there Charles Overson, Craig Lautenschlager, Will Austin, Joey Maines, Jeff Weimer, Jason Steptoe, Nicholas Johnson, Parker Strandrent, Steven Sear, Gabe Ledger, and Maria Ferris rounding out your chase drivers tonight, and everybody else further back. Not really notable to look at here coming into Michigan. Go back down the trackside, though, and take a look at some of your drivers who have shown up tonight. Someone I want to look at. The 23 Angel Hernandez makes another start here in Season 11. Obviously Angel stepped away from full-time racing after Season 10. We're glad to see that. Excuse me. It's glad to see that Angel's back here on the track and trying to get it done here. Obviously, we see Angel back here, P12. And I'll say this, I'm not surprised to see Angel back here a little bit further, right? He's not racing with these guys full time, and it's really a new cast of characters here for the iSNF Cup Series, as we've seen a new, kind of regime come to the top here. You look at the Wyatt Roberts, you look at Cody Meadows, you look at Will Austin, Nicholas Johnson, Chris Otto. Obviously, Chris has raced here in the past, and Cody's somewhat, I think this is his 3rd season, I believe, here in the Cup Series, but a lot of new drivers have come and made way here, and now they're kind of the new guys, right? You look at, drivers like Angel, you look at drivers like Justin Barkley, and so many others, right? There's so many drivers who stepped away from full-time racing, including myself, who, we're consistent top 10 drivers here in the Cup Series, and it's made way for, a new wave of people to come in here and kind of shape iSNF into what it is now. But cool to see once again Angel back in here. You look at Josh Grosso as well. He's coming here, made a couple one-off starts. I believe he's won 2 races this season in his one-off starts. So, like I said, cool to see Angel back here in the Cup Series, making these couple of part-time starts. Justin Barkley also filled in. We saw him race last week in the Cola 300 as well. Looked to show some speed, but he'll fill in for the 54 of Alyssa Sharp. Some more key notables here. Joey Berge in for the 5 of Steven Sear. And we looked at the 41 to 23 and out of 54. Matt Metler in for the 71 for Chris Bishop, and DJ Daniel back in the 47 here, as Frank the Angel is nowhere to be found here the last half of this iSNF Cup Series. So Gonna be interesting to see how everything shakes out here, but you see the time ticking down here in practice. We're gonna get ready to get into qualifying here for Michigan. So we'll see everything tick down here, down to 0, and we'll get ready to head into qualifying here for week 19. And I feel like for Michigan, it's always qualifying is going to be pretty important, right? Because it's a borderline kind of speedway race, right? Where everybody's kind of going full out, everybody's pushing pretty hard here, and regardless, whatever people want to say, the mile and a half racing is pretty good here. At the end of the day, it's hard to pass here at the mile and a half. So waiting on some drivers to come out on track. Looks like Cody Meadows, one of your first drivers here out on track. And Cody just trying to find some luck here in these last couple races. He's shown, top 5 speed, but he's either put himself in spots or to get wrecked, or just had been in the wrong place at the wrong time here a lot of the times here. And these last couple weeks, was running inside the top 5 last week at Charlotte and just got caught up in some incidents that just kind of fell in his lap. So Cody looking to turn some things around. And remember, all these iSNF Cup Series drivers, they get, I believe, 2 to 4, depending on what Rhea has it set here. I can't see how many laps they're given here, but either 2 or 4 laps to get a good timeout right now. Looks like Martin Roberg top of the board. And now here comes Nicholas Johnson top of the board. Jimmy Johnson back there, P2. Cody Meadows right now, the driver looking at right now, back to P6. So looking to get a little bit more time out of this qualifying lap here on the second lap. Coming out of 3 and 4. See if Cody can get any more out of this car. No, Cody cannot get any more out of it. It's currently top of the board here, Nicholas Johnson. Good lap for him. Craig Lockslaughter and the Spider 97 out on track. We'll go and take a look at your points leader. He starts his first time lap, I believe. So everybody try to use that bottom side, get up here to the top. Cannot get into the wall of this, or it will invalidate your lap time. Down here in the 3 and 4, you see him actually use that middle lane here. You see him cut all the way down to the apron here to see what kind of lap time he can get. And Flynn in the 24, up to P5. So a good lap for Thomas. The 24 machine will continue to look at some drivers out here. Rodney Roberts currently P26. He's got some speed here at the Speedways. We'll see him come across the line here to see if he can improve any. Roberts up to P21, so probably not the set of laps he wanted there. Matt Metler, 71 out on track. Filling in for the 71. He's going to have one shot to get a lap here. I mean, he's going to be on the dot. I mean, it's going to be on the line here, whether he can get one in. So Matt up in an outside wall. That's not going to work. Mark Gonzalez, you see here, top of the board here. 38.61. He'll bump down his Penske teammate, Justin Johnson, for the pole here. So Team Penske, again, really good in qualifying here. Needs to keep that speed in the race, though. You see that 38.609, 645, 661, 684. Your fast four all in the sixes, and you see back to Thomas Flynn, first driver to crack the sevens. So very interesting to see there. So wait on all these drivers to get in their virtual machines. Get ready for tonight's race here for Michigan. And we'll take a look at your race info coming into tonight's race here. Before we get our starting lineup here, you see 125 laps here from Michigan International Speedway. For 250 miles, we do have 2 stage breaks here. Stage 1 will end on lap 40. Stage 2 will end on lap 80, and then obviously we'll race the rest of the way to the end here to get to 125. We do have 4 extra sets of tires here, not including the set they have on there right now. So 4 extra sets of tires sitting in the pits for these drivers, and 1 faster pair. Obviously, we're not used to seeing faster pairs outside of the Crown Jewel events. I just think that was a mistake from whoever made the session here. So is what it is. But that is, something to keep in the back of the mind if you're a driver here. You technically have a faster pair. I know that there's been incidents before in the past where they've given it to them and they've tried to tell the drivers do not use it. Obviously, that's going to be pretty hard to dictate, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how that all comes about. So we'll have to see, how that works out. But let's go ahead and get your starting lineup here, presented by HVTV, to see, where your favorite drivers are starting here for week 19. Let's go ahead and get your starting lineup here. Obviously, we saw Mark Gonzalez, really good lap there, that 38.609. He'll be your pole sitter alongside his Penske teammate, Justin Johnson, back there in the 22. Nicholas Johnson, good lap for him in the 20. He'll be P3 alongside Jimmy Johnson in the 10 Kaulig machine. Thomas Flynn, P5 alongside Christopher Walker back there in the 6 machine. Craig Lautenschlager back there in the 77 will be back there in P7. Joey Berge, P8 in the 5 machine, filling in for Steven Sear. Martin Rohrberg in the 43, P9, and rounding out the top 10, Angel Hernandez filling in for the 23 for Steptoe, making his way back into the iSNF Cup Series. Cody Meadows back through P11, and rounding out the top 12, it's going to be Justin Barkley in the 54. Charles Roberson, P13. You'll see Joey Maines back there, P14. P15 will go to Will Austin. James Bowles, P16. Don Blazier, Eugene Thorne, P18. And running out the top 20, Scott Trusty, Terrence Preston. And the 88 machine, John Hopley, P21. P22 goes to Rodney Roberts. Got to get these done as quickly as we can here. Shane Johnson back there in the 23rd. Timothy Cook, Wyatt Roberts, Jeff Weimer, Eric Jorgensen, DJ Daniels, Chris Otto, Chris Schatzman, Chris Van Mastrick, Chuck Cobb, Matt Medler, and David Anderson ran out tonight's field, but we already see pace car off. We're going to get ready to go green here. So we're going to hand the race off to Barney, the flagman, potentially here. So we're going to be going 125 laps here for Michigan. Up through the gears and across the line. Justin Johnson's going to take the point here. He'll lead lap 1 here from Michigan. Everybody building speed up here into turn 1 and 2 for the second lap here. Look at this. Jimmy Johnson up there in that number 10 machine. He's going to try to make the pass here on the number 2 to get around Mark Gonzalez for the P2 position. And Mark's starting to drop here. All the way back to P4 already here for that number 2 machine. We know Mark probably going to be a little bit conservative with the tires here. Caution wave, wrecking in the back. It's like Chris Otto, Terrence Preston around in the back here. We'll take a look and see what happened here on the chopper cam and see what happened here further on in the back here. Oh, man. Looks like the 34. Looks like 4 wide back here, and the 34 just gets up into the 21 machine. So Wyatt Roberts goes around, and then Chris Otto collected up into the outside wall there. See the 88 of Terrence Preston just kind of self-spins, trying to get around the wreck there. So caution will wave here early here from Michigan as they're, wreck further on back here. So we'll re-rack them and restack them once again here from Michigan. Take a look at some of our biggest movers from that restart, kind of. Charles Robertson up 4 spots from where he started back there in P13. He's up inside the top 10 in that 11 machine. Obviously the big losers back here. Terrence Preston in the 88, down 14. Shane Johnson, the 45, down 10. He's back there, 33rd and 34th here. Not a lot of damage to the 45, but we did see him get collected in the wreck. I don't see a lot of damage there on that 45 yet, so lucky for him. So some drivers further on back going to come down pit side here. 54 leads everybody down pit road. Out of pit road. Don Blazier, the first one out of pit side. A little splash and go for all these drivers there. I don't see anybody taking more than, 10 seconds in the pit stop there. Outside of those drivers, gonna have to sit down pit road, take some damage here early. The Chris Otto. And I wonder what the ruling is going to be, because I know in the past, when they mistakenly put the fast repair in, you weren't allowed to use it. And I don't really see... He was in the pits for 5 minutes. 5 seconds, my apologies. I don't see a lot of damage at all on the 9 machine. I wonder if he took that fast repair. Early here. I know that's... I wouldn't say it's frowned upon, but I know that in the past, you weren't really supposed to take the fastie here when it wasn't supposed to be given out. So, but obviously, Rhea's not here to kind of dictate the rules and how that should play around. She should, I know she said she wanted to try to make the race, and if she couldn't, she wanted to join us up here in the HVTV booth. So we'll see if Rhea can make it up here and join us up here maybe throughout the race here. Maybe the halfway break we might see Rhea up here inside the booth. Once again, you'll see a Penske top of the board here. Justin Johnson kept the race lead here after the caution came out here on lap 2. It'll be Justin Johnson. So it'll be 3 Johns. I know this, that sounds wrong, but 3 Johnsons up here in the top 3. So no relation from my knowledge. So very interesting to see that. But it'll be Justin Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Nick Johnson, all the top 3, and then that Penske number 2. And that's your fast 4. So you'll see the 2 Penske Fords on the top side, and you'll see the College Chevrolet right in front of that JGR number 20. But it's going to be Justin Johnson back into the restart zone, back to the jump here. The start lap number 6. You saw right there, textbook teammate restart. Counted down the 2 of Mark Gonzalez to get him clear the rest of the field. So it's down once again. Penske 1-2. You see the 20 up in that outside wall. That's Nicholas Johnson. Is wrecking in the back once again. Caution will wave. Take a look back here. Looks like maybe the 7, Rodney Roberts. Nice, gets in the back of the 4. Oh, man. And some weird kind of neck Cody contact there after the initial contact with the 4. Yeah, just gets in just basically runs over John there. And the 34 teammate clips him. Up the track he goes, and then he pops off the wall there and just kind of grabs the 7 and shoots him down the track. He'll grab the 17 of Don Blazer. You see him up on 2 wheels. You'll see the 6. I believe that's Chuck Cobb. Also get the 7 machine there. Yeah, and that's why, I mean, you got to be a little bit patient on the restarts. Obviously, you want to make some spots up while you can, but you can't be that aggressive, getting the back in there, because you see, you get a different camera angle here. That left front tire completely off the car. So if fast repairs are allowed, gonna have to use it early here in the 7 camp. So, but caution will wave once again here. Our second caution here already in 7 laps. Hopefully we can get the racing under control here, because I'd hate to sit here and have the pace car lead the most laps tonight. I still see some Cody Meadows fans in the chat. He's actually down 1 spot from where he started. Still up inside the top 12. He's sitting back there in 12th, actually. Obviously, not a lot Cody could do here when we're wrecking. We can't even go 1 lap here. So, but still looking on this 12 to see if he can make up some spots there. Not some fast drivers in front of him, though. Like, really, this top 12 is pretty stacked when it comes to talent, right? Someone I want to document, though, Wyatt Roberts got caught up in the first wreck. He's already up 11 spots. He's up inside the top 15 already, back there in P14. See a little bit of right front damage, actually, on that 21 Wood Brothers machine. But still showing some pace here early. At least dodging the wrecks at the very least, I guess, right? So, but, Wyatt's going to be someone to look at here throughout the race. He's got the speed. I feel like he's got the ability to get up here and potentially race up here inside the top 10, easily inside the top 10, and even in the top 5 if he can keep this car clean. Further on up, it's still Team Penske 1-2. You should see the lights on the pace car go off this time by. We'll be getting ready to go once again 2x2 here. This time it's going to be a little bit more of an awkward start for the Team Penske Fords, because they're not going to be lined up 1-2 on the top. They'll be lined up 1-2, leading each row. Like Justin will pick the bottom. I'll get Mark the top, so it'll be Justin Johnson, Mark Gonzalez, Jimmy Johnson, Thomas Flynn up inside the top 4. Now Thomas up, looks like 2 spots from where he started back there in P6. So Oh, one spot up from where he started in P5. It's hard to gauge, you know, when we're you know when we're pacing here, like where everybody's supposed to be lined up, because even though we are pacing it, you know, if Thomas accidentally gets ahead of the 10, that puts him in P3. That'll technically show +2, but he is technically back there in P4. He is +1 from where he started back there in the 5th place spot. So getting ready to go back green here from Michigan. See everybody 2x2 stacked up, getting ready to go green once again here to start lap 10. 32 Penske Fords leading us back to green here, the 22 and the 2. Pace car down pit side. Back into the restart zone. Justin Johnson back to the green. Mark, get down behind the 22 there, and remember, all these drivers have to wait until they get to the start finish line. The change lanes, you saw Mark do what he was supposed to there. Do his due diligence, wait until the start finish line to get down behind his teammate. You saw the 10 actually try to make a move, Jimmy Johnson. And the 10 is, the 5 around, Joey Berge. See, plummets through the charts here. Does he have any damage? Caution will leave regardless. He definitely got some help from someone. We'll have to take a look here and see what happened. Yeah, the 3 of Will Austin. Just hooks the 5 down the track here. And I think Joey was able to keep it off of everything. Oh, man, actually just barely gets the right front. But still, regardless, a very good save. Keeping the damage as minimal as he can here. We'll see if we can jump up and get a better view at this car. Looking at that right front. I really don't see any damage here on this Hendrick Cars machine. So, impressive job for Joey to, whatever it was, looks like he tried to lock it down there. And I don't really see any damage here on the 5 machine. Obviously, a loss of track position here. He'll be all the way back here in 33rd after being inside the top 10. But already our 3rd caution of the race here on lap 11. Hopefully we can figure out what's going on here. Obviously, you know, we look at Michigan, one of our, you know, fast 2 tracks here that we come to on the iSNF schedule, right? And obviously the faster you go, the more easy it is to make mistakes. The easier it is to, you know, make contact with someone, right? But obviously we do not want to be pacing here throughout the race here. We want to put on a good show for you fans at home. And obviously sitting around under the pace car, not going to make it happen here. As we see a lot of drivers down to pit road here. Remember, Michigan is a bigger track than your typical 1.5 miles, as it is 2 miles here in Brooklyn. So, fuel might be a concern, right? We saw some drivers on that first caution come down and top off on fuel. You might see some drivers doing some gas-only stops here. Oh, man, Justin really overshot his box there. He's probably going to give that race lead back over to the at least out of this strategy. Yeah, he's going to lose at least 3 spots here in pit road. But Mark Gonzalez will win the race off pit road there. Good stop. And yeah, it looks like everybody else down here, a little stop and go, a little splash to get them to the end here. At least to the end of stage 2. The end of stage 1, my apologies. This kind of shakes up a lot of your front runners here. So some of these guys up front, you know, looks like around the top, I would say 7 to 8, haven't come down pit road yet. So that'll hand the race over to Jimmy Johnson, Thomas Flynn, Christopher Walker in 84, David Anderson in the 8 in the 97. Still used to that SVG car being 88, but that's now Connor Zilich's machine here for the 2026 season. Scott Trusty in the 51 will be back there in P5. Joey Maines. Actually, looks like Joey Maines has pitted. but has driven his way up to the field here. And then Eric Jorgensen back there in the 16 will be the last car who hasn't pitted at all yet. Nobody else further on back has at least made a pit stop. But Jimmy Johnson up towards the point here in that 10 Kaulig machine. He decides to pick the top here, so he'll give the 24 Thomas Flynn the bottom. And Thomas, right? He's going to be here and on the front row. You know, he finally got that win under his belt after so much trying and so much frustration, right? Got the win there at his home track last week. Now that he's got that win under his belt, can he potentially be up here and be competitive and actually, you know, start to rack up the wins here? We know he's got the pace. We know he's got the speed. It just felt like in my opinion, you know, it felt like he needed to get that first win under his belt to, you know, start to knock off even more wins here throughout, you know, maybe the end of season 11 and potentially, you know, more and more into the future here as we continue to look forward into season 12 and 13 and 14. To see the pace car. Another hard left turn down pit road, and this time will be Jimmy Johnson. On the top side there in that number 10 Kaulig machine, backing into restart zone, back green here from Michigan. A good jump there, and they're looking 3, 4, 5 wide in the back here. Man, some aggressiveness here further on back. I mean, this is where the leaders are at. Outside the top 15. You see 4 wide back here. The 41 of Schatzman. Upset. I'm starting to get why we might have wrecked here early. Everybody's all up on top of each other here early in this race, trying to make up spots here as we see almost 4 wide again here down the front stretches. We will see 4 wide. Back to 3 wide. You see 3 by 3. Cody Meadows trying to be aggressive to make up some spots. This is all outside the top 15. Further on up, we'll go back to the race leader, just Jimmy Johnson, continuing to lead the field here. He's trying to hold off the 24. Thomas Flynn looking like he's got some speed here from Detroit. Not Detroit, from Brooklyn. See 4 wide further on back again. See some drivers up into the outside wall. It's further back here. They have a battle for the race lead. Thomas Flynn. Hard left turn down on the bottom. He's going to take the lead away. He'll at least lead the lap here. Caution. $41 of Schatzman maybe got caught up in something here. It's into the back end of the 17. See these two spin down the grass here on the front stretch. Schatzman has called it a night in the 41 already. But I've had enough. You know, we've been looking too much. It might be a waste of my time to continue to want to go here. I mean, I don't blame him. Our 5th caution here on lap 17. Here we go. Here comes kind of the next kind of group of guys who haven't come down pit road yet. Now they will come down pit road here on lap 18. Almost halfway into this stage. Remember, we get that first stage caution on lap 40. All right, 24 misses the box there. We'll be close off pit road now. Man, Jimmy Johnson will beat him off at pit road. We got the lead back. We'll have to give it right back up again. Now this cycles a new cast of characters up towards the front. So now it'll be two Toyotas up here leading the race. Christopher Walker and Angel Hernandez in the 23. 1-2. It'll be Will Austin and another Toyota of Nicholas Johnson in the 20. Your fast four. So definitely some ups and downs here tonight, here from Michigan International Speedway. Lots of carnage here. Obviously, we talked about it. Very wide racetrack. You can kind of put your car wherever you need to make up time, and you're seeing a lot of people doing that. Unfortunately, a lot of people are making contact with each other, and with these next gens, I mean, you can afford to push and shove a little bit, but also, when you exceed the grip of this car. And there's no way of saving it, right? You've seen that a lot, right? Where some drivers are pushing and shoving each other just a little bit too much, and it's just upsetting the cars they're going around. That's exactly what we don't want to see here early, but obviously it's up to the drivers to back it down and do it and do what they need to, right? I can only encourage these guys to calm down a little bit. But up here in the booth, there's only so much I can do, right? For the sixth time, you'll see lights off on the pace car. And we'll bring everybody once again back together. Now we'll have a couple of new race leaders here for tonight. Christopher Walker going to lead us to the point here, and obviously a familiar sight up here towards the front. Angel Hernandez going to be there in P2. The pace car, another hard left turn down pit road. It'll be the 84. Christopher Walker back inside the restart zone and back green here to start lap 20. Really good jump out of the 84. He's going to get cleared by a large margin here. It's going to be a battle for the P2 position. Nicholas Johnson, Angel Hernandez, battle for P2. Johnson with the good pedal up top there. He'll get clear for P2, a battle for P3 now. Here comes Will Austin on the bottom. And he'll have to fight hard on the top side. They'll still be side by side across the line here. Angel with the momentum off the top. Going to try to get clear, not going to be able to do it. So we'll be side by side, a drive down here, and then 1 and 2 for the 3. It's the 97. David Anderson putting a bumper to the back of the 23 there. Backs out of it though. Able to get back in line there right in front of the 9 of Chris Otto. Chris Otto battled with the 12 of Cody Meadows. Cody using up the 9 a little bit. Cody will get back in line. So you see 3 wide in front. Chris Otto going to be bottom 3 here. Now bottom 2. David Anderson gets back in line. Chris Otto on a man on a mission here. You see the 47. DJ Daniels with the blue rims. Making the pass on Cody Meadows. I mean, he's up 21 spots from where he started. Look back at Chris Otto. Up 23 spots. David Anderson up 30 spots. Sitting up there in P4. Putting the battle to Angel Hernandez right there in the 23. Fortunately, that bottom doesn't work if those guys are going to gang up on you on the top side. Now here comes DJ underneath the 97. Drive down here in the 1 and 2. DJ wants to get around him. He's going to have to pull a slider here on the 97. It looks like that's what he's going to do. Jump up in front of the 97. Oh, up into the outside wall, though. That's not what you want to do. And now it'll be a battle for the P5 position. P6 position. Anderson, Daniels, side by side out of turn 3 and 4. So many battles. You have a battle up here towards the front here now. Here comes Angel Hernandez trying to defend. Chris Otto. Just going to try to take it on the bottom. He will. Does Angel have a run? Oh, wrecking in the back. Caution will wave. And Martin Roberg in the back. And an issue here. Thomas Flynn got in the back room there. Just kind of washed up the track there. Barely got the quarter of Roberg there in the 43. And that Doritos number 43 machine will go around there. Awesome looking car. But obviously not the pace we expect to see out of Martin. Was really in close contention of making the chase. I believe he missed the last race of the chase, which kind of eliminated him from any kind of contention, but he'll have to start from scratch again here. Make his way back up to the field here if he wants a chance to get some stage points here. There's some drivers who I'm a little surprised they haven't gotten back up to the field here. You look at someone like Mark Gonzalez. He's back here in P18, right? He was your pole sitter tonight, right? Has not been able to drive up through the field like some of these other drivers have. I mean, you look at someone like Justin Johnson, right? Granted, you know, Mark has come down pit road after Justin did. So, breaking a pit road, here comes a couple more drivers down pit road. 84 of Walker. David Anderson in the 97 down pit side. I think Walker needed to come in here. He has not come down pit road yet. Fuel's probably looking a little spicy. I'm not sure how long you can go on a fuel run, but this once again changes up kind of the complexity again. Because now we're starting to see kind of the normal front runners make their way up towards the front here. Now we see Johnson, Austin, and Otto up here inside the top 3. And Angel Hernandez, right? Obviously not a consistent front runner, but when he is showing up and showing out here in the Cup Series, this isn't any shock to see him inside the top 4. as we once again say hello from the virtual Michigan International Speedway. Just over halfway done here in stage 1 here in week 19 for the Irish Hills 250. And definitely a chaotic race to say the least here, these first 28 laps. Very caution filled. See right there, our 5th caution here in 28 laps. Granted, we did have a semi-decent longish run there. That last run, we got a couple laps under our belt at the very least. So hopefully we can continue to grow on that and continue to grow out these leads here. We've already had 2 drivers decide to call it a night here. Larry Fairman, Chris Schatzman out of the race early here in their respective machines. I believe everybody's still on the lead lap here. Surprisingly, all these cautions have been kind of little lazy spins here. There hasn't been a big, wreck outside of, the guys who've already packed it up here early. Of drivers, having to go laps down to get this damage fixed, which is good. Good to hear. Everybody's still in the fight here. Looks like the top 35 still have a shot, it looks like. So, it'll be interesting to see how everything goes about. But once again, a new cast of characters up here towards the front. As Nick Johnson, he picks the top side here. He's going to have to fend off the RCR number 3 machine, Will Austin. He's had a really good season thus far. It'll be Nick Johnson. Back through the restart zone, back green here to start lap 29. Decent start by the 20. And a really good jump by the 23 of Angel Hernandez. Remember, he started right behind. And he'll make his way up into the P2 position. Everybody pan out here in the 3 and 4. Everybody continues to build speed. You see the battle for P2 right there. Will Austin, Angel Hernandez. Almost kind of 2 juggernauts in the iSNF Cup Series in just 2 different eras, right? Angel was so dominant here when he was, in his prime, I guess if you want to call it that, right? When he was racing full time. As he stepped away, it's allowed some other drivers like Will Austin, right, to come up here and show how quick they can be. You see Angel hold on there for the P2 position for now, but you see bottom of 3. There goes the 9 of Chris Otto. Otto can't keep the momentum on the bottom. Now he'll jump up to the top. I like this. I like this out of the 9, right? Experimenting, trying to figure out where to put the car. He said, I'll try the bottom there. Couldn't make it work. I'm going to jump up to the very top, right? All the way up against the wall there in 1 and 2. To try to figure out what I need to do. Now look at that. He's going to be battling with the 23 of Angel. Actually going to clear. He'll take the P3 position away from Angel Hernandez. Look at that. Cody Meadows. He snuck his way up inside the top 5. Caution again. Timothy Cook, Thomas Flynn. Around here in the back. Oh, man. And it's Thomas getting hooked down the track from the 19. I'm not sure if that was Thomas maybe clearing himself off the 19. I think he was trying to give room to the cars above there. Unfortunately, there was a car down there. He'll kind of turn himself off the nose in the 19. It looks like just kind of racing. Just 2 cars going for the same spot. I'm not going to put blame on either one of those 2 cars, but good job by both of those guys to keep the damage off of him, right? You know, they were so close to getting to that inside wall. It would have been pretty catastrophic, especially for the 24 who, you know, comes in here leading your points. He can't afford to continue to, you know, be caught up in these wrecks in the back. He's got to get these stage points because you look further up, you know, Justin Johnson knocking on the door to potentially get some stage points, right? And that's really actually, he is inside the top 10. I got him mixed up with Jimmy. But Justin back here, up inside the top 10 already. Now Thomas Flynn, he's going to have to... it's going to be hard for him to get stage points now, right? The one thing I would say is if you're Thomas, maybe try to flip the stage here. Come down pit road here. Obviously, I don't think anybody can make it on fuel here in stage 2, as it looks like no one can make it in stage 1, right? Obviously, we will cut the laps a little bit shorter. Obviously, if we get the lap 40, because you will spend, those first 5 laps, you know, pacing, going down pit road, then another 2 laps, right? And we should be going back green here on around lap 45, so that cuts 5 laps out of it. But I still don't think that's enough to get you to the end there. If I'm the 24, maybe consider coming down pit road here. Yeah, as he will. I would say maybe take the tires now and just try to limp this car around. Just baby the car. Maybe try flipping the stage here. Get in the track position in stage 2. Obviously, we've seen a lot of cautions tonight. Our 6th caution here only on lap 34, right? We're averaging about 6 laps per restart here. Maybe come down, take the tires, and just kind of ride in the back, right? I don't think he's going to have any shot at getting back up to get stage points. No, he won't take the tires quite yet, but he will come down and top off on some Sunoco race fuel, looks like. He legs at pit road here. Unofficially back there in the P26 position. But man, it's definitely been a battle of attrition here early. Just trying to get out of the way here. I feel like if you're inside the top 5, maybe even inside the top 10, I feel like you're in a pretty good spot. I've really seen the wrecking out really 15th on back, right? As we count down the laps, we are approaching that, you know, end game period here for stage 1, right? We will be going back to green here with 4 to go, I believe, in this stage, right? And if we get any caution before we get to lap 40, stage 1 will be official here. Because that's the rule. If we're within 5 laps of the stage and we get a caution, stage will be official. So we're within, you know, the range of calling the stage early here if we need to, if a caution would come out. The lights back off on the pace car. Nick Johnson, Will Austin, your front 2. Angel Hernandez, Chris Otto, your fast 4. Cody Meadows, James Bulls up into the P6 spots. We haven't talked about James at all tonight. Good recovery to get him back up inside. It looks like James up 10 spots there in the P6 position, so... For the final time in stage 1, we'll see this pace car take a hard left turn down pit road. It'll be Nick Johnson and Will Austin. Gonna try to battle it out here for the stage win. You'll see the 20 up on the top, the 3 on the bottom. Nick Johnson back to the restart zone, back to the point here. So we get the 4 lap to go mark here in stage 1. They wind the back. That's the 47. That's Daniels. Going to make it 3 here in the turn 1. They're looking almost 4 wide here out of turn 2. Cody Meadows looks like he's going to have to back out of that. And so, Cody Meadows, contact with the 7. Contact with the 47. Caution will wave there. And I think Nick will get the stage win there. I think Nick Johnson will hold on to win stage 1. This is already after the contact here. I think this was on Cody here. He's kind of walked it up the track here. Gets it to the 7 of Rodney Roberts, and then walks it down the track. Gets the 11, yeah, and then he's going to spin down the infield here. Yeah, just Cody going for everything there to try to get some stage points. Unfortunately, make some contact with the 7 and collect some other drivers with him there. So caution, stage will end early. And now we'll go to Nick Johnson. Well, on that hand, stage 1 under our belts. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, but you won't miss a thing. So we'll go HVTV side by side here to see the action here down pit road.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
So we welcome you back here to the virtual Michigan International Speedway. For the start of stage 2 here in the iSNF Cup Series, we saw Nick Johnson take the stage 1 win after the caution came out early, the end of the stage early. And a little bit of a strategy call here from pit road. We've seen some guys try to stay out here. Scott Trusty in the number 51 machine. Gonna stay out here. He last pitted on lap 33 is what I'm seeing up here in timing and scoring. Martin Roberg into 43. He got caught up in a caution in stage 1. So it's gonna be interesting to see what these guys can do with the little bit older tires. Everybody else decided to come down and take the hard left turn down pit road. A lot of drivers decided to stay out though. We saw, I believe it was the 20 who won the race off pit road. He's already outside the top 10 almost. So, yeah, he is back there in P13. It'll be interesting to see how this all goes about, but it's going to be Scott Trusty, Martin Roberg, back to cross the stripe here. They're back to start stage number 2. As oh, you see the 7. Rodney Roberts around and up into the outside wall there in the back. Trusty trying to hold tough on the bottom, but you have to run from the 43 up the top side. They'll be side by side going into turn 3 and 4. Who's going to take you here? 43 will drive it down deep into the corner there, trying to get clear of the 51. I think Martin Roberg will take it here out of turn 4. He'll lead his first laps here from Michigan. You'll see now why Roberts aggressive here. Going to be bottom at 3. Underneath Timothy Cook. Underneath John Hopley in the 4 machine. Now he's going to be bottom at 3 once again now as they're going to catch the 51 of Trusty here. Unfortunately, the bottom does not have the momentum that I think that the 21 needed there. He's going to actually lose a spot there as Trusty will clear going into turn 3. But once again, another drive down here in the 1 and 2. Still 3 wide here for the P3 position. Back on board there. This is what he's seeing back here. This looks like a parade laps here. Except they're going almost 200 miles an hour down the backstretch here. Definitely not parade laps. As you see now, Wyatt Roberts going to try to muscle his way clear of the 19. He'll take the P2 position further back. You see record in the back once again. Caution will wave. All right, caution of the night. Cody Meadows got some damage here. We'll see if maybe he saw potentially what happened here. If anything, we can line on board. I know he was towards the back of this. We'll see if he can maybe show us what happened. Like the 16, maybe. Ed Jorgensen. I mean, this is probably what the caution was for. I think he just cleared himself off the nose of the 23 there. Yeah. It's almost like Ed didn't even know that the 22 was there. I wonder if maybe something broke in the 16's machine. Because he had it saved here. And then just kind of self-spun again, right? So I'm going to go on board with the 16 and see maybe you see a little bit of maybe like panic or something, right? To see if... No. Like everything looks good inside the cockpit. I just don't think he got the outside call or something. There's definitely a car there. So that will bring out this now the 8th caution of tonight's race. So Martin Roberg keeps the race lead here, and what a way to defend here. Obviously got clear of the 51 at the start of that restart and was actually starting to pull away as everybody else, you know, basically sicking on back. We're fighting hard to make up track position, trying to get back up to the 43, and fortunately he'll have to woe everything back down here. And unfortunately, also for him, he's going to have the 21 of Roberts right there, right? And we know how quick White can be here at these mile-and-a-half speedway kind of tracks. So it's going to be a tough task to keep the 21 behind, but they do have the same amount of laps here on tires. They are the top three, actually, all pitted on lap 33. You go back to Trusty, last pitted on lap 26, and then everybody further on back, last pitted on lap 37. So they all came down pit road after that stage caution. But you do see everybody back 2 by 2, side by side. His lights will go back off on the pace car down the backstretch here for the final time before we go green once again here for the ninth time. And I just hope and pray that these drivers can figure it out and tone down the aggressiveness. I would say this is a new change in the Cup Series, right? That I wasn't used to seeing as a driver, right? Everybody's so aggressive. Everybody's so up on top of each other. This is why we get these cautions, right? I don't see a lot of people that'll, like, back out of it. Be like, hey, I'll get you back later, right? It's just like, no, like, I have to keep the spot. I have to keep it now. I need to stay in front, right? I've seen that a lot happen here with this new change, with the new, dynamics of the drivers. But regardless, Roberg, back to the stripe here, back green to start lap 46. This time, Roberg cannot get clear of the field here. Here comes Wyatt Roberts from the bottom side. He's going to look side by side at the turn 1 and 2. 21 cannot get clear. Wrecking in the back again. Caution will wave the 20. Nick Johnson. Oh, big hit to the inside wall there. I think that all started with the 97 of David Anderson, if I'm not mistaken. Actually started with the 4 once again. John Hopley getting the bumper put to him once again by another driver. Now I wonder, maybe he thought he was going to get tight and kind of got out, kind of lifted there or something. You see, he just slows compared to everybody else around him. Gets hit in the back. The 97 goes around. Yeah, I'm almost wanting to sway towards putting that on the 4 almost, right? I understand he got ran over, but you also can't overdrive the corner or put yourself in a spot to, like, where you have to lift on exit here, because and he also gets a teammate involved there as well. But you can't put the drivers behind you in a spot. Yeah, I mean, he's completely out of the gas on exit. Some drivers will back out for you if you make a mistake like that. Some of them won't. You saw the 10. Either couldn't react in time or just didn't react in time, right? So some drivers will try to back out of it to avoid the contact, to avoid a caution coming out. Some people won't, right? They'll be like, man, don't do that, right? If you don't check up on exit, I don't get in the back of you, right? And it's just kind of that catch-22 of, like, what do you do, right? You're in that situation. To the 20 down pit side here. If he hasn't, he'll probably have to use that fast repair now. Did quite a bit of damage on the 20. Looks like he'll sit down to take the damage, actually. Jimmy Johnson on pit road. I assume he's probably got a little bit of front end damage after, making the contact with the 4. And Thomas Flynn. caught up in another one, right? Trying to get some of this damage fixed, trying to save the fasty here early. The good thing with that is, though, is Justin is not having the best race, right? He's not up there battling for the lead here. I mean, he obviously qualified P2 with the way he's kind of strategized out this race. He did get stage points, I believe, but he didn't, get 1, 2, like, he didn't get, top 3 or 4 in the stage. He's still up inside the top 10, which is a good run here for the 22, but this is where if I'm the 22, I might flip my strategy, right? Like the 24 is having a bad day. I might flip my strategy to put myself in a spot to at least try to hold on the track position here. And obviously 9th isn't terrible, right? He's still going to get stage points if he can keep that car where it is now. But if I'm the 22, you might think about, trying to give yourself an opportunity to get up there and race inside the top 4, maybe the top 5. Try to hold on, even if it is a little bit older tires, right? Try to hold on and try to, gain a couple spots here. Because he is not the first car on fresh tires by a long shot. The first car on with the freshest tires is Chris Otto, and he's up in 4th already. And you look at Justin back here in 9th. Got a little bit of work to do here for the 22. And this is a perfect opportunity to capitalize. The 24, the luck has ran out for Thomas Flynn, at least these first, 50 laps here. Obviously a long race to go, and I'm not saying Thomas is out of it here. He'll be back there in P22. And we've seen him. If anybody is good at pulling something out of thin air, it's that 24 this season. He's been caught up in everything in some of these races, and somehow comes home with like a P6 finish or something, right? Just like that, everybody back side by side, 2 by 2. Pace car will take another hard left turn down pit road. Wyatt Roberts got the lead away from the 43 right before the caution came out, so he'll lead us back to green there. He picks the top side. So back at the restart zone, we'll be back green here to start lap 50. Comes Chris Otto. Bottom of 3 here in the turn 1. He'll clear, but here comes Mark Gonzalez with the run off the top. He'll get clear for P4. Mark Gonzalez he's gonna have to battle Mark Gonzalez for the P3 position though. Chris Otto strong though. He's gonna clear the 22. Regardless here, he'll be up to P3. Wyatt Roberts up to the top side. And allowed to cook. Otto to make a move for the race lead. Otto with the nose out in front right now. 21 with a little bit of momentum. They'll be side by side, dead even going into 3. And Otto, man, he's on a different gear tonight. Up 28 spots, up to the race lead. He's got the freshest tires. I'm not surprised to see him be able to drive up through the field here. A lot easier than some of these other guys. Chris Otto just set the fastest lap of the race there, 37.8. So you can definitely tell he's pushing right now to try to get up to the race lead, try to get away. Switching on back, Justin Johnson trying to make some moves to get back up towards the front. Hasn't been able to eclipse that P9 mark quite yet. You'll see him side by side with the 7 of Roberts. Roberts with the top side, going to be able to hold on. The issue I see with the 22 here is he's going to get in line. I was about to say, when you try to pass on the bottom, you can't make it work. You put yourself in a really vulnerable spot. Oh man, Martin Roberg, bottom of 3. He wants it. It's going to be 4 wide here out of turn 4. Here comes Joey Maines. He's going to push Mark. He's going to push Mark out, and it'll be 3-4 for the 2 and the 48. Why Roberts trying to hold on here? Remember, he has those older tires. Ronnie Roberts really putting that 22 in a bad spot there. Oh, up into the outside wall, the 7 goes. And that cost the 22 a top 10 spot there. Yeah, the 22, you got to go now. Get that 7 out of the way there. I think the 7 might have wheel damage or something. See him, he's making a lot of mistakes here. Now Justin, you got to go. You got to get back at the very least inside the top 10 if you want to feel safe here. And you got some fast guys in front of you now who jumped you. Like, you got put in a bad spot in the 7. You let the 77 and the 3 of Will Austin, 2 multiple-time race winners this season, jump around you here. So it's not going to be easy to get back inside this top 10. You do have some other guys who I feel like could fall outside of the top 10, but it's not going to be easy. And the bad thing is that wasn't even Justin's fault, right? He just basically got put in the wall by the 7, trying to race hard. And now you look at the 7, he's outside the top 20. Caution. Speaking of the 7, 7's the one who's going to bring out this yellow. Rodney Roberts around here. Oh, man. A huge hit for the 7 there. And I'm pretty sure he had some wheel damage. We'll go back out of this corner here. Maybe go through 3 and 4 to see how this car's driving. You see this car just out of whack here. Oh, yeah. Look how much he's got to turn this wheel. Just wants to snap on exit there. And he's definitely got... I'm surprised they didn't give him a black flag there for having a meatball or something. There it is. Tried to correct it. Overcooked it up at outside wall, and a massive hit for the 7. And he's definitely going to have to tow. If he's got that fast spur, going to have to use it now. The Chris Otto. He leads us here. Yeah, I agree. I'm looking in the chat, and I totally agree with you guys. We got to figure this out. Our 10th caution here. We haven't even gotten to lap 60 yet. Haven't even approached halfway yet, right? We're on board for almost 25 cautions this race. Not what we want to see. Chris Otto in and out of his box. I have a couple drivers who have stayed out here. This caution, we'll take a look at them after we see the race off pit roads. This will be Chris Otto, Joey Maines, Joey Berge. So the 3 Hendrick guys. 1, 2, 3 out of pit road. So the rest of the field funnel out of pit road here. But Angel and Chris Van Maastricht stay out here. They last pitted on lap 48 and 47. So they'll have about 10 lap older tires, technically. Remember, we paced for probably 4 of them. So I would say they probably have, I would say 3 to 5 lap older tires under green flag conditions. So not a bad gamble here. to get the track position. It's something that I said that maybe the 22 could do, right? And something happened to Justin Johnson here, because he's back here in P20, and they've kind of flipped stuff here, because now here comes Thomas Flynn. He's in 7th after that's all said and done. Here we go. Once again, 2x2. Once again, it'll be Angel and Chris leading the field to the line here. Another different pairing up here from Michigan. I have to tell Rhea she's gonna have to change that driver picture for Angel, because 2311 even sponsored by McDonald's anymore, which is funny. So to see that picture of Mr. Wallace up here up on the broadcast, kind of funny to see that. Here we go. Pace car off. Angel Hernandez back to the point here to start lap 60 here for the Irish Hills 250. Once again, Chris Otto jumping underneath the apron here. It's caution. Man. Looks like Timothy Cook at a 19 around here in the back. '77. Yeah, just dumps the 19 here. Remember, the rule is here in the iSNF Cup Series, you can go down and use the apron, but you don't have to be let back up, right? They do not have to give you the space if you want to go up there and use the apron. And I don't know, maybe the 19 was deliberately doing that, but regardless, 19 was not given the space, so the 77 said, hey, I got to come through. He's going to spin the 19 around. We also saw, it looks like the 6 around here, Chuck Cobb. I don't know, maybe he got help as well, if he just, it looks like he got help from the 97 of David Anderson. Really just got ARCA braked by the 97 there. And it just locks it down here. Yeah, that was kind of a selfish move. Man, these guys got to figure it out. We see once again caution out here for the 11th time. I'm just out of lots of words what to say, honestly, everybody. I've said it time and time again this race that we got to figure out these cautions. We got to figure out the wrecking. We got to back it down, right? We got 24th on back here in the pit road trying to fix damage. Cody Meadows not having the best day either. See him coming out of pit side. I have 3 drivers out here early. Ronnie Roberts, Matt Metler. Chris Schatzman, Larry Fairman out early here from Michigan. Several other drivers. Multiple laps down here. David Anderson, Eric Jorgensen, Nicholas Johnson is a lap down, I believe. No, Nicholas Johnson is on the lead lap. So the top 29 on up. Still on the lead lap, but it looks like David Anderson, Eric Jorgensen, only guys lap down right now. Will they get back ready to go racing here? It's gonna be once again Angel Hernandez, but this time Joey Main's on the bottom side. Angel Hernandez back to the point here, back to green here. For the first time, we see Chris Otto not jump very wide here on the race side. Obviously, he had his teammate. There goes Chris Otto around in a 9. And this could be a big one. Lock it down. Oh, man. Chris Otto. Looks like he just lost it on his own there. We'll take a look and see what happened here on the replay. I don't think he got any help. I think he got the apron there. You look, watch. Right about right here. Grabs the apron. Nowhere to go for a lot of these drivers. Here goes Justin Johnson, the 17. The 19 barely squeaks by. Yeah, just a uncharacteristic mistake out of the 9 there of Otto. So caution will wave once again. We'll stack it back up. We'll take everybody back to a well here. Angel Hernandez continues the lead here from Michigan. We should get the wintergreen this time. As we do. So Justin Barkley will be the P2 driver. Looking at all the crashing, I didn't even notice he got up to P2 here. And obviously not surprised here. Justin, season champion here. Back in the day here in the iSNF Cup Series. I believe he drove that 22 to a champion, yeah, in season 8. I remember being teammates with Justin for that season. Kind of cheer him on to a championship, and yeah, season 8. Let's go back off on the pace car. It's going to be a Toyota front row. The two different teams, 2311 and the number 23 machine, Joe Gibbs Racing. Number 54 Monster Energy machine. The pace car take a hard left turn down Perry Road. We'll get ready to go back green here to start lap 68. Angel Hernandez back to the restart zone, back to the green flag. Good jump out of the 23 machine. We'll see side by side further on back. Justin Barkley, Will Austin. Battle it out here at a turn 1 and 2 for the second place spot. Justin Barkley loose on the bottom of the track. He's going to keep it going. What a save by the 54. Lots of track position though. Further on up, Charles Roberson up inside the top 4. Mark Gonzalez trying to make the moves here. Middle of 3 here, underneath the 5, above the 24. That will be the 24 and the 2 going at it side by side back there for P number 6. Oh, you see someone squirreling in the back there. I think that's the 60 of Weimer. Further on up. Angel's got his hands full here. The 3. See now, of course, the 3 is going to get side by side here through the front stretch. At the line, Angel's going to take you, but, well, Austin's got a run here going into 1 and 2. Slider from the 3, not going to make it work. Yeah. Oh, he does make it work. Wow, I didn't think he was going to get clear. Will Austin, I believe, leads his first laps of the race. I've said it once, I've said it before, you know, when you give this 3 to clean air, it's going to be pretty hard, even for someone like Angel, to make something happen here. Will is just so good in the clean air. On the bottom to see Angel try to run the top side, trying to build momentum to maybe try to get back to the 3 if he can. They're getting the back bumper once again. The issue is with Angel, you know, when you run that top side, it does burn the tires up. It is faster, right? And this is the only way you're going to keep the pressure on Will here to potentially make a mistake here. Now you see Will breaking the draft down the backstretch. See a battle for P2, for P3, my apologies. Mark Gonzalez underneath in number 11. Roberson trying to hold on here to a podium spot, but here comes the 2. Your pole sitter trying to drive up inside the podium spot again. Again, the clean air prevailing here. See, now the 11, he's actually running down this 23 machine. Remember, Angel has slightly older tires now, 48. He last pitted on lap 48, so everybody else came down pit road on lap 57 at the very earliest. Maybe those tires starting to give out here as the run goes on. This has been our, knock on wood, by far our longest run of the night. Everybody's trying to get back single file. Martin Roberg making a move on the 48 of Joey Maines. Here comes the 24. Here comes the 77. Wonder if Joey Maines got up in the outside wall there. He lost 3-4 spots there down the backstretch. Timothy Cook looking underneath the 77. We saw these two get together earlier, so yeah, Cook using up the 77 here, trying to get around them. The issue with Cook is he might get clear of the 77, but he's got, you know, a train on that top side. He's going to just, you know, not make it easy to get around here. Everybody's running that higher side right now. And you'll see the 19 to jump to the top. Try to run, use that momentum. Going to try to pass the 77 on the top or maybe cross them over here down the front stretch. Ooh, had to get out of the throttle there. Dang, lost a lot of momentum. Oh, almost wrecking in the back. That's, I thought, James Bowles, I think, yeah. What a save by the 35. He's going to get back up on track here in a somewhat safe manner. Going to lose a lot of time now. They're on up, though. Roberson still got a rear view full of the 2 machine. Gonzalez trying to make the spot work. They just cannot make anything work right now. Thought I saw 3 wide for the on back there. Joey Maines falling through the pack here. See him get passed by the 22 of Johnson here. And man, I thought this was maybe a day that Justin could capitalize on the downfalls of the 24, but he's not even inside the top 10. And Thomas has worked his way back up outside the top 6. He's running down the 43 here for P5, right? You know, we get the 2 to go mark here in stage 2. So, caution will wave the 11 off the bumper. That'll be our 13th caution of the race here. We'll have to take a look and see what happened. So welcome you back here once again to Michigan International Speedway. And once again, we end the stage 2 under caution. We saw Will Austin take the stage win. See him cycle back out. This kind of really messes things up here because, you know, that was obviously the stage. People are going to come down. They're going to have to take tires here. Some people are going to flip the stage here, though, right? So, actually, everybody did come down. Will Austin, he pitted as well, but he's all the way back here in 22nd. I didn't see any damage on the 3 machine, but very interesting to see that. But we're approaching here now. We're approaching, what, 40 to go here in the race. So I can just only hope and pray that these guys, you know, it's the last stage. They need a good finish. They need to keep it green here. I'd really love to, you know, get this out of the way here as soon as we can. You know, I do have some other obligations tonight I'd like to attend to, and that's not trying to take away from the broadcast or anything. Obviously, this is my first responsibility here as the primary broadcasting partner of the iSNF Cup Series, but obviously I didn't expect to have 13 cautions tonight, but nonetheless, Angel Hernandez, Mark Gonzalez back across the stripe here. We'll start stage 3 here. Toyota forward front row. Angel keeping a lead here in the turn 3 and 4, but here comes the 2 of Gonzalez. Gonna look underneath. Gonna get the dirty air. That air grip from the 23 machine. Gonna wash up the track there. Gonna have some pressure from the 21 of Wyatt Roberts, that Penske line teammate. Gonna try to push out the 2 machine here. Try to get back to that number 23 Chevy Camaro. Toyota Camry. Everybody's sitting in line here. We'll see if Mark decides to take the left-hand turn to try to jump underneath the 23 here. But at least try to get some clean air on that nose. Angel still holding on to it. Everybody getting single foul for the time being. No, the 54 in the back. That's Justin Barkley, I believe. Caution will wave. Just I was thinking we're going to get a long run here. Jeff Weimer goes around here in the back. Jeff gets in the back of the 54 there. I don't know if he's trying to check up to give Barkley the opportunity to save him. Remember, these guys were past teammates for Team Penske, so definitely I would say they are pretty cordial with each other on the track, but fortunately, you see those two get together. Caution will wave here for the 14th time for Michigan. Do some ups and some downs tonight, but you're starting to see some of the, you know, the good guys, the best of the best come up towards the front. You look at the Gonzalez's, you look at the, you know, the Flynn's, you see Cody Meadows back there, you see Craig Launchlotter back there, right? And you see Wyatt Roberts, right? Granted, he doesn't have the resume as some of these other guys do, but he's shown pace every time he's come out here on the track, right? I think he's, what, 6 starts, 5 top 5s, right? We'll take a look and see at Wyatt here. 5 starts, 4 top 5s, right? I mean, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with if he get signed full time next season, right? Obviously, he's filling in for the 21 for Rhea for the rest of the season while she can't make it. If someone picks him up, right, he's going to be dangerous down the stretch here. So that's still back on the pace car, which means we'll go one more time around the track here before we get going back green. Go through your field here. Obviously, Angel Hernandez up here in the lead, and Mark Gonzalez back here in P2. Just like that, the 21 of Roberts. Thomas Flynn, really good recovery for him in this 24 team. He's up in P4. Martin Roberg, what a run by this driver, right? Hasn't been able to show up for all the races, but has been showing up and showing out all race long. You know, has led some laps tonight. Cody Meadows, a good recovery back here in P6. Timothy Cook, solid recovery after getting caught up in a couple incidences. Craig Launschlader, Justin Johnson. Joey Maines, your top 10 here.
What's up?
What's going on, Rhea? Finally, get back on the computer. But yeah, sitting here under caution here on lap 88. Been definitely a chaotic race to say the least.
That's what I'm told. Yeah, I went down the Penske chat first, talked with my drivers, got the vibe. I said, well, I'm going to come up here and see what you're up to as my sims load so I can view what you're viewing. Yeah, I was going to be in the race. Unfortunately, I got out of work too late. So I said, screw it, and got a pizza and all that too on the way home. Once you're late, you're late. But yeah, I'm told it's definitely a race of attrition here at Michigan.
I definitely agree. Our 14th caution of the night here, so
Yikes. Well, we're officially gonna blame Cody Meadows for the fast repair because we need somebody to be the fall guy for it. So he needs to stop requesting fast repairs. And then we'll have more cleaner races probably.
Yeah, it's always blame Cody here, but back in here, the Angel Hernandez, a good jump on the bottom side. You'll see Mark Gonzalez. Got to be side by side, trying to use that momentum off the top side. Got to take this lace rate away from the 23 machine. Got Wyatt Roberts back there in the 21.
He's been doing a phenomenal job in that Wood Brothers car. He's really earning my ride, and yeah, he's every week he's right there. So
yeah, Wyatt, he's got a lot of potential, right? I mean, he's gonna be dangerous. As I talked about this right before you joined, right? He's gonna be dangerous if someone can pick him up full time next season. So, obviously I know Wyatt pretty well from another series that I broadcast that he races in, and he's a consistent driver, and he's going to be a hot commodity going into free agency at the end of the season here. So interested to see what he can do here these last couple races. But yeah, up here in the P3 position, trying to hold off some of the big dogs. So you see Thomas Flynn and back there in P4, Roberg Meadows rounding out your top 6.
It's loading in right now. How many entries do we have?
We had 35 join. Obviously, we've had a couple of DNFs here. So
right. Yeah, it's loading in right now. So I just was wondering. Okay. So I guess Angel's been pretty good here, right?
Yeah, he's been pretty good. I mean, there's been a couple of different like almost field strategies slash tire strategies. So Angel's been up towards the front. You know, the second half of the race here. I think he got lucky with the way the strategies worked towards his favor. That's usual Angel stuff that somehow always his strategy works in his favor. So, but yeah, he's been up here inside the top three throughout the most of the race. But we saw Mark actually make the pass here for the race lead here. So Angel back to P2 and then Wyatt back to P3. Thomas Flynn rounds out your fast four.
Angel's kind of like the Chris Gabehart if Chris Gabehart was a driver. He's like strategy and driver like combined. Angel is a big threat always. Yeah.
Yeah, Angel's always been the guy to for a long time he was the measuring stick here. So and it's fun to see him come back and run part time here and show some of these newer guys how to do it because I talked about this with some of these drivers and off the broadcast. There's been a lot of new influx of new full-time guys, right? We lost a lot of our kind of chiseled veterans these last couple seasons, right? And we've had to fill those spots with new guys who have kind of made a difference here and kind of changed the dynamic. As caution out once again here, 15th time. It looks like DJ Daniels, number 47, having an issue here further on back.
Yeah, 47 car. It's one of Matt Metler's buddies, brought in recently from his league over at was that Redline Racing or I don't know. I don't remember what he's. But anyway,
Yeah,
looks like it was a one car incident though, single car, so not terribly bad.
yeah, it looks like he just got loose and was trying to check up. It looks like actually Chris Otto got into it as well. Dang, a huge
Oh, geez.
impact for Chris there. But yeah, it looks like he got loose trying to save it. Unfortunately, the 20 of Nicholas Johnson couldn't react in time. Gets in the back of him. He shoots up the track there, grabs Chris Otto. Looks like he might get Joey Berge as well. Yeah, that's 2 Hendrick cars involved in that wreck.
Oh, geez. For some reason, it wasn't showing that. It might have loaded in right at the tail end of it though. So, but I am officially in session, so I can see what you're seeing.
See a lot of damage to the 9, a lot of pretty decent damage to the 5 there.
It's like we got some pit stops coming in. We got the 88 of Terrence Preston, the 54 of Justin Barkley coming in, 51 of Trusty, 21 and the 19 have already pitted as well. They're heading back out. 34 is in the pits, 3 car. So lots of people coming in. 23 of Angel Hernandez is getting 4 tires.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see this. I think this is right around maybe where the fuel window is because we saw some drivers, both stages, kind of. Obviously, we've gotten a plethora of cautions for both stages. Came around this time. We saw the first batch of guys come around, with around 30-ish going the stage to top off at least on fuel. But obviously, you see a lot of these drivers, Angel including, looks like everybody comes down, takes 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles, and come back out here. But we do have some drivers who stayed out. You see Mark Gonzalez, Roberg, Meadows, Maines, and Roberson. And also John Hopley stays out here, as well as Timothy Cook here. So the top 7 decides to stay out here. Actually, no. Timothy Cook did come down pit road. Just looks like a short stop, a little bit of splash and go. So it's the top 6 and up who decided to stay out here on this caution.
Yep. We have Martin Roberg there in the 43 car. Pretty good run for him. Is he one of the ones that stayed out?
Yeah, so the top 6 all stayed out here. They all, looks like everybody last pitted of those top 6 on lap 80. So I'm unsure if they can make it the rest of the way here, but obviously we'll have to see here. I believe probably the fuel windows are around 30 to 35. I'm not sure for certain, how much they can go on fuel. But, yeah, the top 6 stayed out here. But Martin, he's had a good run tonight. He flipped one of the cautions to get the track position, and he hasn't really dropped outside the top 5 after he's gotten up here towards the front.
Yeah, it's good to see people, you know, that sometimes don't get lucky and run up front, you know, have a good run. So that's good for him. Looks like Joey Maines is up there as well. John Hopley in the 4 car. Looks like he's going to restart up there inside the top 5 too. So good run for him. Hopefully these guys on older stuff can hold their own ground now and not cause too much of a shakeup here.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. I mean, it's going to be about 15 lap older tires compared to the rest of the field who came down pair out here. So we've only ran, you know, probably 10-ish laps here on these tires. So I don't think it should be an issue here on the restart. Obviously, if we get a green flag run here, this is probably where we're going to see some of these drivers start to feel the tire difference here. But we'll just have to find out here if we can get a longish run. But pace car takes a hard left turn down Perry Road, and it's going to be back to Mark Gonzalez. Martin Roberg back to the stripe.
Well, Thomas Flynn was excited when they finally painted that orange Exalta car. That is a nice looking car, as they're already 3 wide here. The 10 car in the middle.
Yeah, painted 3, almost 4 wide here. Down there in the 1 and 2, but he's trying to be aggressive to make up the spots here early. You start to see some of these guys with those fresher tires trying to make their way through the field here. You start to see, you know, now I believe that's Timothy Cook in that 19, the first of the fresh tires, trying to drive up through the field here, trying to get underneath the 48 of Joey Maines here down the front stretch.
Yeah, Timothy Cook is another one that's been pretty impressive too, and he just kind of landed that car for the season because Emily Urias had some medical issues and she had to step aside. But Timothy Cook is definitely making the most of it here. If he wants to earn himself a good full-time ride for next season, what a better way here than to, you know, run really well. So
yeah, Timothy's done a good job. He's done a good job of coming. He's got caught up in a couple incidents this race and still up inside the top 10, trying to fight hard here. But you see Joey Maines actually make the pass there up into P3. You see 3 wide back there for P4. Here comes the 21 on the bottom.
yeah, you pretty much throw a blanket over this top 5. They are running hard and pretty strong here from about P3 back. And man, it's, I hope they're not too aggressive, though. We don't need more cautions. So.
And they're definitely going for it back there. You still see 3 wide further back there.
Christopher Walker in 84 with a run down on the bottom there. That's a car I haven't seen up front before. So.
Now Walker, he's been up once again. There was a bunch of different kind of tire strategies towards the front of the race where a big group would pit and then we get a caution. Another group would pit and we get a caution. So Walker was a part of one of those groups that kind of cycled to the front. And he's been, you know, up inside, you know, the top 15 throughout most of the race here. So a decent run out of the 84 there. You know, we're not used to seeing the 84 really up front a lot, but a good run for Walker. And now he sits back there in P16.
Yeah, and we have Thomas Flynn now on the apron trying to make some headway toward the front. 4 wide as we go into the corner here. Man, that's pretty sketchy.
Yeah, 4 wide trying to make it work here. It's back to 3 here on the backstretch is, once again, some of these guys on the older tires starting to fall back a little bit. Now starting to get mingled in with some of these guys with the fresher stuff. So contact, the 20 and the 24 up the track there. In the 3 and 4 there, that'll lose to 20 a bunch of track position there. Thomas going up the track and making, looks like just some accidental contact there, but you're going to see him once again bottom of 3 here on the 19 and the 77. Look further on up. The 2 Penske Fords have taken the race lead away, and that number 21 car trying to take away 3rd away from Joey Maines, but See now, Mark Gonzalez, Cody Meadows 1-2 here with 24 to go. I'm interested to see, can they go the rest of the way here on fuel, or they're going to have to pit, right? I mean, they last pit on lap 80. I mean, they're going to have to go about 45 laps here on fuel. I don't,
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not going to be able to do that. Not on a 2 mile oval. No way.
so they're banking on a caution to help them out here. Now I see the 21, Roberts underneath the 48, the mains here. And once again, that top side, the momentum just works way too well here at Michigan. Joey Mains keeps P3 spot for now. And surprisingly enough, you know, the first person with the fresher tires, this is 21. And then he's only gotten up to P4, so. And then you see Will Lawson back there. Will's been really quick, like always here at these Speedway tracks. He's up there in P5, and then we start to, you know, get some other things sprinkled in here. Some of the fresher tires starting to drive up to the field.
Is that that's a 45 of Shane Johnson about to go a lap down.
Yeah, he's on the top side here. Trying to just give way to the leaders. Trying to get out of the way. Try to be respectful. You see Mark getting on him here. He's actually, oh no, getting out of the way. Goes to the bottom now. Thought maybe he was trying to pit, but no. Gets down out of the way. 2-3 car. A little bit of pressure from the 10. It's Jimmy Johnson in the 10, that colleague machine. Trying to use that higher line to try to, you know, keep that momentum up. Try to get back to the 3.
Yeah, Mark Gonzalez has been really solid. The question is, how many points can we gain on Thomas Flynn this race? I mean, Thomas Flynn is always there. He never seems to run into bad luck. He might get into a scuffle or something during a race, but his finishes is what matters. And he's always right there. So he's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, we're talking about this because Thomas has had a pretty rough race. I don't think he got stage points at all. I mean, maybe he got it in stage 2, actually. I think he got some in stage 2, but stage 1 he didn't get any stage points. And I was looking back to the 22 of Justin, and he, you know, I don't think he did the best job capitalizing. I don't know, maybe he just doesn't have the pace in the 22 car this weekend, but didn't do the best job capitalizing on the misfortune of the 24. He might have maybe got a point or two, but he's going to need a way bigger point swing here for Michigan to try to close in, as he's almost 50 points back now to the 24 machine.
Yeah, he's going to need to play catch up here. I see Justin there. He's running, where's Justin running? He's running the
I see the 22 back there in P9.
P9, okay.
I mean, in the top 10, he's going to get decent points here. And, you know, Thomas, you know, he's trying to run through the field here, but, you know, once the tires got to equal out here, it makes it pretty difficult. He's mired back here in P16 right now. This is probably the worst we've seen him run on pace this season, really. Hasn't shown the flashy speed we've seen out of the 24. Really, there's a lot of, you know, playoff contenders or chase contenders who just haven't had the best night, right? So, you know, Mark has done a good job keeping the track position, keeping it clean. Cody's done a good job, you know, rebounding. He's gotten caught up in a couple incidents, and he's running up here in the P2 spot. Then Joey Mains, obviously, I don't think he's really in contention anymore after missing a couple races, but he always races well here at his home track here in Michigan, so not a surprise to see him up inside the top 5.
Yeah, Joey is one of those rare drivers that actually can race pretty good at their home track. And Chris Van Maastricht is another hometown hero here, and I don't know where he's running right now, but
he's all the way back in 26th, it looks like. So
yeah, he's not too solid today.
But looking back here at the race, so he's starting to pull away a little bit from his Penske teammate here in the 12, Cody Meadows. Getting in some competition here for P2 as that, you know, Wood Brothers number 21 machine tries to reel him in. He's using this top side to build the momentum here on the backstretch. But obviously he's going to have to pay for it on entry of the corners here, running the top side, but really liking the top for now. I feel like the 21's a little bit quicker right now with those fresher tires, and he is good on fuel. Like, he is the first guy who was good on fuel. You see Joey Main's down pit road here, so this is where we're starting to see drivers who tried to take the gamble here going to have to start to pay the price here. Joey Main's down pit side.
Another playoff driver, Jeff Weimer. He's not having a good pace either. Seems like he's kind of off the pace even.
Yeah, Jeff, I believe, was the caution. This last caution, actually. So, yeah, he seems to be having a little bit of a stability issues in that number 60 machine. You see his RFK teammate, Don Blazer, trying to get around him right there. But I want to look back at this 21. I mean, if these two leaders can't make it, he's going to be the provisional leader, right? He's got Will Austin, who is no slouch in his own right. Trying to chase him back down.
Will is very good, yeah.
But Wyatt right now, if he can keep in touch and try to honestly, I get it that Cody and Mark need a caution here. I think actually Cody's coming down pit road here. Yeah, here he comes. I'm about to say, obviously we know Wyatt's in the same VC as these two. If he gets to him, I'm just going to say, like, please just let me go, right? I got to get away from the 3. I need the clean air. You guys can't make it on fuel anyways, right? You guys need a caution.
We have some green flag pit stops. Eric Jorgensen came in a while ago. John Hopley's in now.
I see Cody Meadows in. I see Charles Roberson, John Hopley down pit side here. Remember, we're around the time, right? I mean, 80 laps, we're right at that, 30, 35 lap mark, to where they don't have any fuel left, right? It's not that they are voluntary pitting, because here comes Mark. Mark Gonzalez pits for the race lead. Can't go any further, right? And this is going to be a huge blow here, because, I mean, if they don't get a caution, this is disastrous here for the Penske cars. Obviously, Wyatt comes back around. He'll take your race lead here, and you'll see him actually lap the 12 of Cody Meadows. He'll probably try to get around here. I think Charles will be okay. I think he'll be up to speed. He'll have the fresher tires. I think he should be able to stay ahead of your race leader. But once again, looking at Wyatt needs this 11 to get away, right? He cannot afford to get air griefed by this 11 with the dirty air here, because he's going to have to hold on here as, Will Austin trying to run him down here for the race for the win.
Yeah, Will Austin, though, he's sneaking up a little bit closer and closer on the 21, and don't forget about Chris Otto and Angel Hernandez. I don't know what pit cycle they're on, but we do have 5 very fast cars here at Michigan right now.
Everybody in the top 10 have pitted at the same time, but I do hear the 21 is turning off his car. He's saving fuel in the corners. So I mean, that tells me that maybe not even these guys are 100% confident that they can make it. So I'm going to try to ride on board with the 3 to see if he's trying to turn off the car.
Yeah, because if that's the case, then yeah, this whole pack is, and I hate to break it to you, but the best one of that game is Angel Hernandez in the 23 car. He is the best at saving fuel and being fast simultaneously. So of the 5 cars, I have the 23 car circled right now. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, if it comes down to fuel mileage, there's not a lot of people that are better at Angel. I would know, right? So he's out fuel mileage me a couple times for my first win. So I agree. There's not going to be a lot that's better at saving fuel here. The issue is that he's mired back here in traffic, right? He's back here at P4. Cody Meadows trying to get back on the lead lap here. You're going to try to get around Will Austin here, around your race leader. That's allowed Chris Otto to put his name back in the picture here. He's going to get to the outside of the 3.
Yeah, Chris Otto trying to put his name in the hat here. And I think the 3 car might be trying to save some fuel too.
I'm starting to wonder now, you know, Chris, he's really taken off here. The 3 in the back of the 9. Wow. They keep it going, but I don't see, luckily I don't see any front end damage on the 3 machine. That was a huge hit to the back of Chris Otto there. But once again, I'm starting to wonder, maybe did Chris save fuel before, right? Now he feels like he's good to go, and he's starting to push here to get back up towards the front. You're looking at someone like Angel as well. He started to pick up the pace here.
Yeah, some people have some tricks up their sleeves. That's for sure.
Will Austin, he's gone the tire saving mode here. You see him, he's turning off the car. Unfortunately, you know, turning off the car, was Otto up at an outside wall. Got tight from the dirty air. Cody Meadows, here comes the 3. He's going to retake the race lead. Here comes... That's a 43 of Roberg. He's a lap down, trying to get his lap back. And the 9 really off the pace here this lap. So that'll allow Will Austin to get out to a pretty decent chunk of a lead here. And this will really allow him to back it down just a little bit. He's got a little bit of a cushion that he can give back to the 9, back to the 21. And like Rita said,
I'm wondering if they're all just maybe playing some sort of fuel savings game, and it's just like whoever's got the engine shut off at that moment gets passed, turn it back on, and then they make a pass. It almost seems like that's what they're doing.
Otto down pit road.
Uh-oh.
Otto doesn't think he can make it here with 5 to go. Now it's Will Austin. He's got about a half of a second gap. Just over half a second, up to 8/9 now. And he's got the draft of the 43, right? I feel like he's in a good spot to back it down even more than some of these other drivers. You see Wyatt Roberts, he's back there, but he's got Angel breathing down his neck here, trying to put the pressure on. He's just 3/10 behind. But Wyatt, he's still saving fuel. Back to Angel. Everybody back here, they're saving fuel here. So, I mean, it's going to be close to see who can make it, who can't. Here with 5, now 4 to go.
Yeah, looking back here, you know, at the rest of the standings here, I mean, really, on a fuel mileage race, I mean, we've had Larry Fairman grab a dub, not at this track, but, you know, I mean, it really comes down to just whoever can save the most fuel. And Angel is right there, and I've got him circled because I believe he can do it. We all know he can. I would like to see if Will Austin or anybody could also challenge him, though. So that's kind of what I'm looking to see here.
Greg in the 77, he's put his name in the hat as well. He's driven up here. He's got these guys at a pretty rapid pace. And they're running down the 3. Everybody, the second on back, they're running down Will Austin. I don't know if Will's just kind of trying to manage a gap here, but I don't hear Craig saving at all here. So I don't know, maybe Craig saved enough and now he's pushing. Like, I thought that's maybe what Chris was doing, but I don't hear him. He's not turning off the car at all here. The issue is does he have the tires? Does he have the car to get around these guys up front? Now the 77, he's going to come down pit road. That's probably why he was pushing.
Wyatt Roberts and Angel Hernandez coming up here, kind of like two sharks. Yep, here they come.
Here comes Angel. He got around the 21. Now trying to reel in the 3 machine. With 2 to go. Can these guys make it the rest of the way? I think it's just going to be about who can make it and who can't. Here comes the 22 of Justin Johnson. He's made his way back up here as well. He's going to try to get around the 21 here. Justin out of nowhere here. He's trying to, he's got one last chance here as we get the white flag lap here.
He always finds a way to get a podium somehow. Yeah.
The battle's going to be on here for the race lead, though. Angel Hernandez, Will Austin. Will Austin going to try to hold on for now. Do they have enough to make it? Justin,
This is a pretty
he's
exciting ring. Yeah.
he's catching them in a hurry. He is catching them in a hurry. I just don't think there's gonna be enough time. But out of 3 and 4, Angel with the run off the top side.
Ooh.
I think Will's out of fuel.
He
Angel
is.
Hernandez is gonna take you here from Michigan.
By about a quarter of a straightaway, enough fuel to get the W here. Angel Hernandez
Justin
bringing it home
Johnson.
first. I told you that he was the master of his class when it comes to fuel saving. Good job for Justin L. Johnson to get up there for a P2. Did Will end up finishing third?
I think Will got third. I think White also. White ran down at the line as well. But yeah, Justin, so close. He was, I mean, what, feet away from that, but just too little too late there. One more lap, and I think that would have been the 22s. But once again, Angel Hernandez does it again. Somehow, miraculously, pulls something out of nowhere. He gets another one here from Michigan.
Yeah, I feel really bad for the 3 because I've seen that happen before. And yeah, it's not the first time that's happened in this league. So, but I'm excited for Angel, adding to that W count. He's pretty much the one competing with Charles Roberson for that title.
I think that ties him and Charles for wins all time.
Yeah.
This will bring him up to 18 wins. So I think this will tie Charles for the leader of all-time wins here. Obviously, Charles, I think, has the upper hand because he's still racing full-time. Angel isn't, but yeah, what a win for Angel. I mean, he barely ekes out the 22 and the 3 there for his 18th win here in his iSNF Cup Series career.
Yeah, a little controversy here too, like coming across the line on that last lap. Was literally coming across the line. The 34 and the 84 get tangled up. Looks like they're just the 84 is just going for it. I'm not sure if the 34 was unaware or if the 84 did it deliberate, but either way, they were crashing across the line. So regardless, I think the 84 did beat him, but a little bit of fist moving up in the air there for the end of the race, but
yeah, I mean, that's going to have to be looked at here, looking from the replay up here. I mean, definitely, I don't know, maybe the 34, Eugene was trying to just limp it back the line. I don't know if maybe he was out, but he was significantly slower versus the 84, and then it looks like the 84 just makes contact across the line there. He gets the spot, but I don't know if that was the best way to do it for sure. But it'll be interesting to see, how the admins look at that. But I think it's time to talk to your top 3 finishers tonight up here in the podium spots. Go ahead.
it's been forever since I got to talk to some of these guys too. So
yeah, well, let's go ahead and talk. Bring up Angel here. See, he gets his 18th win here from Michigan. Hey, Angel, it's Christian and Rhea up here in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, first of all, congratulations. Another win here. Obviously not common for you here in the Cup Series, but for your 18th win, I believe that ties you with Charles for you guys are tied for all-time wins here in the iSNF Cup Series. So first of all, congratulations on your win tonight here from Michigan, but obviously we have to talk about it. I didn't really think that this was a talking point coming into this last run here, but the fuel saving, right? Obviously you were able to eke out everybody else and hold off a hard charging Justin Johnson for your 18th win here from Michigan. Walk us through your race. Walk us through that last run.
Yeah, I mean, the race before that was, I don't know, it all kind of blended together because there were so many cautions. But yeah, that last run, I think, at least me and our team, we thought that we would be good just from pitting on that one caution. But clearly it was a lot closer than what we thought. So yeah, when I looked at the fuel with maybe like 10 to go, that's when I realized I got to start saving. So it just tucked behind people and clutched in whenever I could, lifted off on the straights. And yeah, I think the only reason that Austin didn't end up winning was just because he was leading, I think. So you just I don't know, just good circumstances and yeah, just fuel save just a tiny bit better.
Yeah, obviously up here in the booth, me and Maria have talked about that. You are undoubtedly probably one of the best fuel savers we have here, regardless if you're full time or not. Walk us through what is the difference between you and kind of the rest of the field that makes you so good at saving fuel here in these next gen machines.
I don't know, honestly. I think it's just I don't know what to pinpoint it at. And honestly, I haven't really compared it to anyone else, but yeah, like I said, just I just tried lifting a little bit in the straights when I could when I was in the draft behind especially on those last 2 laps, I was like maybe only 80% throttle at most. And then other than that, yeah, just clutching in and doing the usual. That's all it took.
Very interesting stuff there. But Ray, any questions for Angel before we send him off?
Well, I just wanted to let you know I am verifying that that is true. He has tied Charles Roberson for first as far as the amount of wins, both at 18 in the Cup Series. So congratulations there. As far as like overall wins, I'm actually checking that right now. I want to see. I think Charles probably still wins because he's raced in a lot more different series and stuff compared to Angel. So I think Charles still does hold on the overall. But yeah, here in the Cup Series, you and Charles, man, you guys are the best at it. So when it comes to everything behind the wheel, yeah, Charles 78 wins in iSNF period. Angel 38. That's definitely nothing to shake a stick at. Either one of you. Solid, solid. Angel, we appreciate you coming in and subbing. Wish you could come back full time, but I understand life happens, and any chance you can get to come back and race with us is definitely welcomed. And congratulations on the W.
Yeah, thank you, and I think over these next few weeks I'll probably be racing a little bit more. Just got done with finals, so
Oh
Mm.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. That I'm glad you put that ahead of racing. Education. There's nothing wrong with a good education. So
for sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, glad that you're finally done with school. You get the weight off your shoulders there, another year off your back. But once again, Angel, congratulations on another win here from in the Cup Series. Before we let you go, anybody want to thank? Appreciate your shout out here for tonight's win.
Just all the JGR 23XI guys. It was fun being with them for this race, and yeah,
We definitely appreciate your
Awesome.
time. We appreciate your time up here in the booth, Angel, and we wish you good luck here if you continue to come back and race with us.
all right, thank you.
Angel, win number 18 here for the number 23 machine, and it's another, Hall of Fame career here for Angel. Continuing to go on, but I think it's time to talk to the Penske number 22, Justin Johnson. Unfortunately, bridesmaid once again here from Michigan. Justin, it's Christian and Rhea up here in the HPT booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I hear you guys.
Well, bridesmaid once again, unfortunately for you and the 22 team, just so close. I don't. I looked like maybe you just had a little bit better field than the rest of everybody else, and were able to quite literally drive your way up through the field there. Just barely didn't have enough time to get back to the 23 of Angel there. But walk us through your race there. I know, that really outside the state after stage two. I mean, before the end of stage two, everything was just kind of a blur for a lot of drivers with all the cautions. But walk us through your race and what got you up here into a podium spot.
Yeah, started the race in P2. It went out pretty well. Didn't expect as many cautions as we had. Didn't run as high as we wanted to run today either, but that last stage, I was thinking, man, I think in the rare event that we go green the rest of the way, I think I'm gonna want to start saving here, and it worked out. P2, started P2, finished P2. I think that'd be okay with most people.
That means you really didn't do anything all race. You just sat there, huh?
Yeah, I
Just
didn't do
kidding.
anything. Just was relaxed and didn't do much.
No, I'm glad you were able to defend that P2 and keep it. But yeah, it's a heartbreaker on the 3 for sure, because he had it pretty well locked up. We'll be talking to him hopefully here in a moment, but Yeah, it sounds to me like he just ran out of fuel. And yeah, had it been one more lap, like Christian was saying, I think that race would have been yours. So either way, you know, tough on attrition tonight, and good points day. You needed it. Not sure where the 24 finished, but
Too
I know
high.
anything you can
Too high.
gain on that 24 is a good thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a good thing. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, it's just you said as a joke, you know, it didn't feel like you did anything all race, and it obviously finishing P2 is not doing anything. But this is my I think this is the 5th time I finished second this season. It's getting a little sick of it.
So you're starting to feel a little bit of Sheldon Creed syndrome.
He's
Yeah, a little
feeling,
bit of that. Yeah, like
feeling the Christian Delgado sitting right there. So
Yeah, that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
but,
yeah.
um,
It's always a sub too. Like if it's Angel or Dylan Basin,
yep,
one or the other.
exactly.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you driving hard for Team Penske, and you know, next week I'm not even sure where we're at.
In Pocono,
I
I
should
believe.
I
think
should
it's
probably
Pocono.
look at that.
It should be Pocono, yeah, if we're going off the actual schedule.
Oh, are
So
we? Okay, yeah. Yeah, Pocono. And then we're going to Nashville Super Speedway, because I think that's when are they racing San Diego?
yeah,
Yeah, and then we go to Chicago. So sweet.
it's gonna be
Go out
interesting.
there and knock them dead next week at Pocono then.
Will definitely do my best.
You have a good rest of the night,
Okay.
Justin.
All right, thanks, guys.
Justin Johnson comes home P number 2. Will Austin, heartbreak for him, but we gotta talk to him. Let's talk to number 3 up here in the booth.
Yeah.
Hey, Will, it's Christian and Rhea up here in the HV2 booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, heartbreak for you and the whole 3 team. Obviously, we saw you leading coming to the white, and we ran out coming. What was it, down the backstretch there?
Yeah, I rate out of 4.
Yeah, out of 4 there,
Uh,
and just gave it away there at the end. That Angel there, you know, we talked to Angel there as he won. Obviously, we talked to him first, and he said, you know, he felt like the big proponent for you was that you just had the lead, you had the clean air, and you know he could just sit in the draft and keep a little bit more fuel mileage versus you. But you know, walk us through your race, walk us through what you could have maybe done different there to hold off that 23 machine.
Yeah, I mean, didn't qualify great. Started mid back towards the back, anyways. Yeah, getting up front was my biggest thing. Just clean air here. Dirty air kills you, kills your tires. With how many wrecks there was, it was tough to. It wasn't really tough to get track position, but trying to avoid it and keep the car clean was the biggest strategy I had today.
Yeah, obviously
but
we had
did you mentioned tire wear was what do you think the tire fall off was here? About what lap?
Early in our run, I'd say probably 10, 15, 20 laps. But
Yeah.
like I said, we hardly ever even got that far into a run before there's a wreck, so tires had time to cool down.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah, and talking about the
But I know
cautions,
you.
obviously we had a lot tonight, right? And what's the kind of the mindset of, you know, you would get the lead, you get out there, you get the clean air, and then we get the cautioning. And what's the mindset of just having to like, what goes through your head when you're just gonna when you continue to just kind of have to reset? And almost like for me, every time I'm in a race that get a lot of caution, it kind of breaks that rhythm, right? Well, what's the mindset for you when we unfortunately just couldn't keep them going here?
yeah, I mean, it definitely breaks up your rhythm. But honestly, once you're in the lead, you could pretty much command wherever you wanted the other car to go just by coming across his nose. And if you could get a good jump off the line, the leader definitely had the best chance at staying up front. But yeah, I mean, like I said, dirty air was the killer tonight.
I think mostly too what he's thinking about is how much he loves iSNF and how much he's looking forward to next season.
Yeah. No, I mean the rest of this year, there's no coming back in the chase for me. So I'm just trying to have fun out here and take it one race at a time.
Yeah.
Well,
Awesome. Well, congratulations on a P3. Good finish. I'm sure at least it was worthwhile. I didn't see Gabe anywhere on the track though, but I'll tell him we missed him and hopefully he'll be back next week.
Yeah.
well, before we let you go, Will, anybody want to thank, appreciate, or shout out for tonight's run tonight here from Michigan?
Yeah, just my team for bringing a fast car, and you guys keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, Will.
Yeah,
Love
we will-
having you.
Yeah, and next week at Pocono, we'll see what you can do there. But hope you have a good rest tonight, and we'll see if we can talk to you once again up there from Pocono.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Austin comes home P3 and just a heartbreak, right? I mean, had the win on lock and ran out of
Yeah.
fuel. You got to feel for it. I mean, you think about the 2011 Coke 600, right? With that's kind
Yeah.
of a perfect reenactment, right? So got to feel bad. I mean, he was quick all race long, and I think Angel kind of put it to a T there. He had the clean air, which is Angel who could just sit in
Yeah.
the draft and just save a little bit better. And unfortunately, Angel kind of gets to steal one again here, for another one here in the
Yep.
Cup Series.
Yep. He's stolen a lot of wins, and what, 2 or 3 championships? I forget.
I think it's 3.
he's
So
yeah. So I mean, he's the winningest driver as far as the cup goes, I guess. Well, no, yeah, because this is where the tiebreaker comes in over Charles. So yeah, they may be tied for dubs now, but Angel's got 3 championships and Charles only has 1. So, so it'd be you can argue and say Angel is the winningest driver in the Cup Series overall, but nonetheless, Charles is definitely right there every week, putting up a strong fight and, nothing to turn your back on for sure. But what do you say we put a big happy red bow on today's race here at the Irish Hills 250 at Michigan? Sorry I missed all the carnage. It sounds like it was interesting, but it looks like I brought a little bit of luck because as soon as I got on, it was clean and green. So
yeah.
good finish, good fuel mileage race there toward the end. Completely different, I guess, from what the first 100 laps contained. But nonetheless, congratulations to Angel Hernandez and the 2311 team.
Definitely a big congrats to Angel there. And yeah, I think people saw Rhea, she win the session and they're like, oh man, we gotta we gotta knock it off or we're gonna be in trouble there.
I don't
But
know if it was that. I think it was more like I think everyone had already used up their fast repair. We'll just-
something, regardless, as soon as
Yeah.
Rhea came up here, it was clean and green, so might be a good luck
Yeah.
charm. But before we let everybody go here for tonight, let's go ahead and take a look at our unofficial race results for tonight's race. Obviously, we talked to our top 3 finishers, and we'll see Wyatt Roberts. He comes on P4, another top 5 finish for that number 21 team. Good one for them. Joseph Barkley comes home P5, filling in for Alyssa. Good one for him in the 54. Thomas Flynn, we were talking about, we didn't know where he finished. He finishes P6, so once again, putting together good runs,
Oh
like
my
always.
God,
So
that guy. He's like the Tyler Reddick of iSNF this year. Only without the wins. But even when Tyler Reddick gets in trouble in real life, right? He still finds a way to finish in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good finish for the number 24 team. We look further back in the outside of the top 5. Nicholas Johnson, Jimmy Johnson, Christopher Walken, Chris Van Maastricht top 10. Wow, good recovery for him in the 38 team. Chris Idle finished back there in 11th. Mark Gonzalez 12th, and these are all these drivers who had the pit, and you see the finishing positions tank down because of it. Mark Gonzalez back there P12, Joey Maines, Charles Roberson, Cody Meadows. Round out the top 15. See Martin Roberg, Craig Lautenslaughter, James Bowles, and the further on out here, Jeff Weimer round out to your top 20, and then everybody else outside of the top 20 laps down here will show the last of the drivers out here. You see lots of drivers out early here for tonight's race, but yeah, 35s come in, 35 drivers come in. I believe 29 finished the race, so not too bad considering we had 16 cautions tonight. So
Yeah. So, and I'm also impressed with the attendance too. So we're, definitely right in the beginning of what we call here the slow season, because everybody's outside mowing the lawn, playing with their kids, going on vacations, graduation parties, birthday parties, picnics, this, that, and the other. Everyone's really busy outside. So anyone who did participate tonight, I really want to just say I appreciate you guys being here. It looks good for the league. It supports the league. Um, I appreciate my loyal drivers too. I have quite a few of them. You know who you are. Thank you for all your commitment and hard work, being in the league. And I know I haven't been around as far as like online during a session, but I haven't gone anywhere when it comes to the overall league itself. I'm right there. I'm on a different time zone, but I'm still right there. And needless to say, I really love the league. I look forward to wrapping up this season and seeing what we can do next season. And when you said Hall of Fame, I had a light bulb moment. I forgot this season. We actually do got to get the Hall of Fame and inductees lined up here. So we got to get the Hall of Fame candidates first, and then we got to vote on those. And I'm so glad you mentioned Hall of Fame because we're gonna have some doozies up for possible nominations, right? So we have to see who got in last time and who still needs to get in. I have a feeling we're gonna have a pretty good class this year.
yeah, it's still gonna be interesting to see who gets inducted, who gets the honor to be in the Hall of Fame here for the iSNF league here. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see. But obviously, looking forward into Pocono. Definitely a technical track, and interested to see what comes as we go to Pennsylvania.
Copy that, Christian. As always, I really appreciate you and what you do for the league and putting on these shows. I know it can't be easy sometimes with all the crashes, but I really appreciate everything you do, and we'll see you next week at Pocono.
No, well, it's my honor. It's it's my job too. You gotta go through the bad ones, but you also gotta go through the good ones when we get them. So,
That's
but
right.
yeah, I appreciate the opportunities up here in the booth, and yeah, can't wait to go to next week. But I think it's time to wrap it up here from the
Yep.
virtual Michigan International Speedway. Once again, my name is Christian Delgado, alongside Ria Ferris for the kind of second half of the race. We appreciate everybody coming out, and we look forward to next Saturday as we go to Pocono, as we count down the last couple of races in the chase, the crown champion.
Yep.
But we hope everybody has a good rest of the night, and we'll see you guys soon. Hope everybody has a good rest of the night, and enjoy your Saturdays.